There is nothing. Only warm primordial blackness. You're conscious fermenting it. No larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever. Never, ever. Never, ever, ever, baby. An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it.
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle, soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and shameful. A ball of meat surrounding you.
Ex-love. Ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible. Stay. All right. Nothing down to fuck all, borough. Do you want me to upgrade that to a one-way trip, sir? Do you really?
You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion? Or did you not sense yourself marinating? Poured so much on yourself.
Somewhere in the sore, bloated man-meter ring, like a fly to the ointment, your conscience sticks to it. The limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is firing up again. It wants to walk the desert, hurting.
The stench of liquor rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache. A fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open.
Somehow, you know what it is. A caprice can name a motor carriage. hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pants. It says whirling in rags on the aluminium keyring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it. The whirling in rags is a hostel cafeteria on the urban coast, frequented. This fan has 2 chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades. The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now. You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade. What you have in your hand is a truly hideous necktie, with 4 or 5 different patterns. A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. You can practically feel the photons burning a hole in your brain. Your eyes burn with photosensitivity. It's not good. The switch must be broken because nothing happens. The air in the room is starting to feel like vaporized urine. The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings. The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings. The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside. A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent. More likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact. It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy and larger than your fist. Like the green shoe that's on the hat rack in the corner, which, coincidentally, is missing its friend. Congratulations, you smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, you can still find the other on the balcony outside. The door to it should be outside your room. A cool wind gushes in. Your toes curl up from the cold. The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind. The fan stands still. The switch must be broken because nothing. The lights are off again. The lights are on. A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half. Was this not the same Eno that founds empires and lays waste to cities? Virile, uncaring towards? Probably not, no. Hot water sprays from the faucet's base, and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. As you slowly reach your hand towards the surface, abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with it. Where to even begin? There is the bloatedness, then the swollenness. It's like there's an upholstery of alcohol underneath your skin. Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? It appears you're also dead. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why? Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. You can't, can you? It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face, and what does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? You should check yourself for a pulse, superstar. From here it looks like a cadaverous spasm. You find no sign of life on your swollen neck. However, putting your hand on your chest reveals an irregular heartbeat. You appear to be alive, for now. It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure of the revolution that, for a fleeting moment, free market economy seemed like the ultimate, uncontested way of life for our species. Things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades to suit the time. For Revachol, your city. That meant if it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right. Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open-air boîte de nuit, somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression. You have some understanding of the near history of disco. The rest is darkness, aside from the useless fact that the motor carriage outside was a caprice cinema. Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe the click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily in Guillaume Le Million's regional mega-hit, Some 20-odd years. There is a vast ocean of time between right now and the expression, looking good on you. Or, it doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return. It's too late. Like an image on film. The expression belongs to your primary motor cortex. It would take a minor neurological miracle for you to cease producing it. The window stands broken. The morning light hurts your eye. There they both are. Two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin, reunited like two baby crocodiles. Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told.
Hello, officer.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips. Her eyes are brown and her face is speckled with birthmarks. She can't be more than 28. A silver jumpsuit falls off her like scale armor, sparkling. This is the sparkle of too many nights out on the city.
No. Because you're a police officer, sir. I am, yes. Unless you've been feeding us a set of very well-rehearsed lies all this time. You've been here for 3 days. On official police business, no less. Couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking. Could it be because of the drinking?
She hasn't had time to put her makeup on. This is her morning cigarette. She looks tired, her beauty waning faster than it ought to at her age.
Could it be because of the drinking?
She hasn't had time to put her...
Don't be so harsh on yourself. They let almost anyone be a police officer.
The words have already left your mouth.
What was that? That's not even how words are used. What did you say? Come on, say it again. No, you see, that's not what you said. You said... Come on, man. Freddie, please. One more time. Goddamn right you did. You crazy asshole, you. What kind of cop are you? Okay, that's cool. Or if I can just maybe ask you to elaborate on that superstardom a tiny bit. Or maybe you are Guillaume le Million. He'd be about your age now. It's gonna suck for you later when you have to interrogate me. And for the record, no, I didn't do it.
The door is closed. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on, somewhere inside. This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside. This door can only be opened with a key or from the... You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul. Utterly. And it needs to be through a PA system, by other people. You should sing the sad small church song from that tape you found. Thought it was obvious. No, don't sing the happy song. It's stupid. Sing the sad song. You would need another copy of the tape first, though. The one upstairs is destroyed. Who is mistakenly identified as a cop for his prominent jawline? Yes, sounds likely. You should probably go on stage. A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed seat. Everything is cool between you and this guy. He's a big fan. Make some small talk.
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria.
He's very animated all of a sudden. This seems like a touchy subject. A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among... Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was... This is the great skua. The seabird. The small steel tag says as much. The great skua. Stegoarius skua.
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird instead. A competent work of taxidermy. Looks like the bird. This is the great skua. The seabird. The small steel tag says as much.
Look, your buddy is over... Why don't you go and talk to him?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird instead. That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already? An hour would have been bad. 2 hours is mystical. You have truly wiped out all trace of yourself if you haven't thought about rum and lemonade yet. Forget about the bar. Or don't forget about it. You should totally You press your tongue against the counter. You could definitely go for some more. A colourful piece of plastic is dangling from his carabiner. On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen.
It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. A young, able-bodied man stares back at you from the photo. Santiago S. Your fingers find their way into the shackle, flicking open its spring-loaded gate. The man emits a loud snore. Is he about to wake up? Doesn't look like it. You slip the plastic ID card out of the loop and pocket it. The man continues, just for the record. You look nothing like the man on the document. You find a black paper note with a woman's profile on it. Seems like this woman lived centuries ago. The note says, 5. The sleeping dock worker has little to say about your act.
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting.
The theme on that pinball machine is a standard royalist theme, used on everything from pinball cabinets, clinging to a picture book version of the past century, waiting for the king to come back and cast out all the profiteers and homosexuals. Basically, the sentiment is called a bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. As you approach, he narrows his eyes and extends his on the sleeve of his bomber jacket as well as on its back. are the same enigmatic white rectangles as on your blazer.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he's waiting for your name. Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau. No, it's not. Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau is one classy name.
Yes, well.
Not for a moment does he believe that's your real name. He casts it aside as an intra-departmental joke or a peculiarity he does.
It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here?
What he means is, he has been trying to meet up with you for 2 days, but you have been otherwise occupied.
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right? It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? Good. But even if you haven't, we'll have time for that after we take a look at the... Have you removed the dead body from the tree? So, the body is still in the tree, where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner. Talk to the manager. Then we go out back and take the body down. I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen officers go through work. If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, we all feel that way sometimes. There is no such thing as a police officer, I'm afraid. What remains is that there is a dead body in the tree.
And then, soon after, dead bodies would be dangling from all the tree.
But first, we have to take it down. I was sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 41. You have the insignia of the Citizens' I suppose you could be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia from the black market or forged it.
Inspectorate General means internal affairs. What he's saying is, he's not from the rat squad.
Yes, but I'm not them. I'm from criminal investigation. Yes. They're not just white rectangles. They bear a halogen watermark with the letters RCM, and I would ask you to step into the headlights of my motor carriage. But again, it's none of my concern. I just need... You mean you don't have a badge? Oh. If you didn't have your badge, then that would be very bad. You would need to report it on my shortwave. But since you do have it, we can go straight to the task at hand. After you, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever, by interacting with him.
Yes? What do you want to know? Maybe you can tell me what you do know, to help me narrow it down a bit. Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous... During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock worker, a security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. To find him or her is one of our tasks here. For now, All we know is that the tone was muffled, using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the police in this city.
The RCM, or the Revachol Citizens Militia, is the police force you and him are part of. A self-organized peace corps of the occupied city of Revachol. The RCM operates within a legal twilight, yet its authority...
That's right. No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. I can assure nothing like that will happen. Do you know why not? No, something isn't happening, because it's not part of reality.
The gesture resembles an orchestra conductor bringing the choir to a full stop. So desperately mundane. You need to funk this. There's something the lieutenant isn't seeing. The universe is too irrational, too morally complex. You should convince him.
You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again? There's no reason to wing in. 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. Okay then, was there anything else you wanted to know? I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing. You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. That's good. Better still than an imbecile cop-off. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim. Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? Good. What do you want to know? Good.
Only banal things strike you. At the core, you're a very banal person with a very small soul. Despair creeps into you, getting fat on your weakness. Whatever noble intentions you once had, you're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
Fuck me? Please leave the rage you have for after we finish the investigation.
Nothing you can say would make you feel any better now. Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism. A colorful piece on the counter rolled out of his open hand. The man does not.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the...
It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job. You fumble with the spring-loaded gate of the carabinier, but to no avail. Like fucking sleigh bells. What are you doing? You're gonna get caught.
Stop finger-fucking him, officer! I'm responsible for these oafs and their stuff. Even Sleepy there. Yeah, sure. I don't care. Just don't finger-bang his stuff, okay?
The worker is in a deep slumber. That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching our syrupy attaboy. It's coming back to him. There he is. You press your tongue. You could definitely go for some. A man, and everything is cool between you and this guy. He's a competent worker. Looks like this is the great. The small steel tag says as much.
Look, why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you.
No, I'm not.
He's very animated all of a sudden. This seems like a touch.
I could if I were a bartender, but I'm not.
A competent work. Looks like this is the great. The small steel tag says as much.
Look, why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you.
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't...
The theme on that pinball machine is a standard royalist, clinging to a picture book version of the past century, waiting for the king to come back.